Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Well, here we are, 2024. First day of the new year. What do y'all think about it? Well, I'll tell you what I think about it. I'm going into it wholeheartedly, positively, and just going to keep working as hard as I did in 2023. The one thing I can tell you I did do starting off the new year is Danny had been with me here at the house all day. We've just been working just steadily at different things that we're doing here to the house and cleaning and all that stuff. And he left to go do a few things. And I just kind of went outside to do something and I fell down the front steps. So there you go. That's how I started out my New Year's Day. But hey, I'm okay. My legs are a little bunged up, but Miss Lori's tough. I can't say that I didn't tear up a little bit before I finally got out that door. Or got off the ground and back in the door, put it that way. You know, the older we get, when we fall, it's rough, ain't it? We're going to start out, we're going to make us some black-eyed peas. Now, you know, this is just a tradition, just like Thanksgiving, turkey and ham and all that stuff. In fact, at the end of the video, I done some research on it. It's just something that we've always done. Danny's side, our side, you always had black-eyed peas and some kind of greens and cornbread and ham hocks or smoked turkey wings or something. Fried potatoes, you name it. You know, that's just something you done on first day of the new year. Whether if you believe in good luck or, you know, it's just a folklore and where it started and all that stuff. But for us, it's just a tradition, just like all the other, you know, like I said, Thanksgiving and things like that. We believe that the good Lord blesses us, and whatever He blesses us with in that year, then that's just His will. And He's always blessed us, hasn't He? He's kept us fed and roof over our head and clothes on our bodies, and I mean, He's really blessed us. But anyways, I'm going to show y'all how we do our black-eyed peas. Now this is going to be just a little bit different recipe. I have made all kinds of different black-eyed pea recipes, and I've got several different videos on them. One of them was a black-eyed pea gumbo, and you can't hardly get any better than that. But it's just that black-eyed peas are not my Mr. Brown's favorite pea. But if I can just really spice it up, do something a little bit different with it, and put some cornbread with it and some greens, it's pretty good. So today what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be cooking about a half a pound of dry black-eyed peas. And what I've done is I soaked them for about 3 hours. You don't have to soak them because black-eyed peas don't really take long to cook, not like the pinto beans and stuff like that. But I did. I was working in the house and I just went over there and measured out a half a pound of my black-eyed peas and just soaked them for about 3 hours. And here I've got two pretty good size turkey legs here. They're smoked, they're cooked and smoked. So all I really want to do is I'm going to kind of brown them a little bit and saute them in my pan before I start sauteing my onions and stuff. It just brings out the flavor a little bit, just like if you stuck them in your oven and roast them for just a little bit to get some of them juices, and just makes everything taste better. But like I said, they're already cooked. But you can do ham hocks. We do the ham hocks a lot, but I want to do something a little bit different. Now what I'm also going to do, I'm going to spice it up with a little bit of green chilies. I'm even at the very last going to cut me up some potatoes to put in here to make just a really good hearty meal. So, I mean, that's just the way you can do it. You can just make a soup out of it, a gumbo, make it a Cajun pot of black-eyed peas. Just whatever your tradition is and the way you really like them. But I'm just going to show you our recipe. So I've got my peas washed, and now I'm going to saute my chicken wings here in my pot. I'm just going to take me a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just going to coat the bottom of my pot just to put enough to brown my chicken wings, or chicken wings. I keep calling these chicken wings, I guess. These are turkey wings, because I tell you what, if that was a chicken wing, that was an awful big chicken. And I know that looks like, Lori, that's too much really for a half a pound of black-eyed peas. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the meat off these. And I want plenty of meat in with my black-eyed peas. So they're in there. And I'm just going to let them brown. Get all them good juices and all that good taste down there in the bottom. And then I'll take them out. And then I've got some onions, bell peppers. I've got about 4 big cloves of garlic, and we'll be sauteing that up too. Okay, I'm going to take my turkey wings out. Just set them over here. I got me a good fond going down on my bottom of my pot here. So I've got some well, it's not over here. Okay. I've got 2 small to medium onions. You can either dice them or just kind of slice them up. We love onions, so two pretty good. You know, you don't put as much as onions you want, put it that way. But what I'm putting is about 2 medium size. And then I had a large yellow bell pepper. I really wanted a red one, but I didn't have one. So green, red, yellow, orange, whichever you got. I just like the red and orange ones best. I just think they're just a little bit sweeter. And I've got me some garlic cloves over here. I've got about 4 pretty good sized garlic cloves that I meant to have them diced up before I started, and I got sidetracked and I didn't get them diced up, but we're going to do it right now over here on the chopping block. I hope y'all had a good day, a beautiful blessed day. It's been a little bit cold here. We had a little bit of sunshine today, but not a whole lot. I think it's supposed to turn really cold next week here. We've got the wood cook stove going, but I tell you, during the day, you about burn up. You know, our little house is small, so. But we're not complaining because we stay warm, that's for sure. Okay, I've got 2 medium-sized onions, a large bell pepper, and 4 large garlic cloves chopped, and it smells wonderful in here. And there was still probably about a tablespoon of oil left in the bottom with all the smoked turkey fond there on the bottom. And I know you're probably thinking, Laura, your pot's not big enough, and it's probably not. But we're going to make it work. I'm going to take just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Okay, we're going to let this saute for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to wash my hands. I still got garlic cloves on them. Danny will probably be gone for a couple more hours. So by the time he gets back, I'll have these black-eyed peas ready and some cornbread. My onions and bell peppers have been cooking for probably about a minute. They are starting to soften up, but I'm not really wanting to just cook them all the way because they're going to be cooking while the peas are cooking, and I like to have just a little bit of bite to my onion and my bell pepper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, this is 4 cups of chicken stock. And then I had to, I'm out of chicken stock, and I have got to get to do some canning here pretty quick. So I'm just going to finish it off with some bear bouillon. Chicken base. So that was about 7 cups. I'm going to put in my black-eyed peas that I soaked for a few hours. You can soak them overnight, or you don't have to soak them at all. I'm going to put 4-ounce can. These are mild, fire roasted. I can't talk today, y'all. Fire roasted green chilies. Now, I'm also going to put in a can of, this is fire roasted diced tomatoes and green chilies. And my pot's getting full, y'all. If I can get my turkey wings in there, we'll be okay. Because as they cook in with these peas, they'll kind of break down a little bit, and I can start getting the meat off of them. Okay, even though I've got onions in there, I'm going to put about a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm not going to salt it right now till I taste it after a while. A little bit of black pepper. I've got some, just a little bit of dried oregano. Let's see, what else was I going to put in it? Is that it? I think that was it as far as spices, but you put in whatever you want. I've already got the 4 cloves of garlic in here, so. But you can add more garlic powder if you want to. You could add you some cumin in here. What I'll do is I'll let this cook, and then I'll taste the juice and just see what maybe I need. But right now, I'm going to carefully put my chicken wings back in here. And they're going to stick up out of the pot, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. Ooh. Them were some hefty turkeys there. I'm going to get the juice, pour that in there. And I've got my stove on about medium high. I might turn it up just a little bit to get it to a good boil. And once it comes to a really good boil, I'll turn it down just a notch or 2. And then I'm going to let this simmer for about 45 minutes. I'll taste the peas. I like my peas really, really soft. I'll taste the juice, and then we'll go from there. And like I said, I'm also going to dissect some little potatoes, and I'll be getting the meat off the bones. But them bones and that turkey wing in there, and them bones and all that meat and the smoke flavor and all that in there is going to make it taste really good. I may try to put my lid on it, y'all. There we go. It's going to work. Have y'all ever ate Lacy Cornbread? It is just one of them, I don't know how far back it goes, but you only had to have 3 ingredients. So it was something that you could put on the table for your family pretty quick and not spend a lot of money on it. As long as you had some cornmeal and some water and salt. You can put some Lacy cornbread on the table with soup, beans, peas, stew, just to eat with maybe some refried beans or even some pepper jelly. I think some people think it tastes kind of like a homemade tortilla or something. But this is a Lacy cornbread, and a lot of Southerns make it. A lot of Southerners grew up with it. Some didn't. Some don't even know what it is, but I'm fixing to show you. And I'm sure there's some people that might do it just a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how we always done it. Now, what I like to use making Lacy cornbread is a very fine ground cornmeal. And I get this you can get it at the Mennonite store, or we've even got an Amish store. They're Hardy. Amish don't run it, but they have Amish products in there. So this is a yellow. It is fine ground. You can use white if you want to. Just don't use anything like self-rising, because you don't want any leaven in this cornbread, in this Lacy cornbread. You don't want no baking powder. You don't want no baking soda in it, nothing to give it leaven. So 3 ingredients. We've got 1.5 cups of your fine ground yellow cornmeal. And I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to mix that up a little bit. And I've got my skillet over here. I like to do it in an iron skillet. And I've got anywhere from 3/4 to an inch of peanut oil in here, because when I'm frying it, I like it to be able to move around. I don't want it to fall on the bottom and stick to the bottom. So I'm just going to mix my salt up with this cornmeal. And I've got a Nutri-Mill where I can mill my own corn, but they had this, and it was fine ground, and I thought, you know, it's 89 cents a pound, so I just got a pound of it to keep in the pantry just for stuff like this. But I've got whole corn that I put up. I even put up, I think it's about 50 pounds of popcorn that I can use if I need to, because whole popcorn will last for years if you put it in a bucket or put it in Mylar bags or something, and that put it back in your pantry for hard times. And that's what I've done. I don't use it all the time no more than I have to, just so that I always have it. Now I will go in there, if I haven't used it in a while, I'll go in there and start milling it and using some of it. Okay, 1.5 cups of cornmeal, a teaspoon of salt, and I've got 2 cups of warm water. Now I'm not going to put the whole 2 cups in there at once, because you want this at a certain consistency. You're going to want it pretty loose, and it usually takes the whole 2 cups. So that's still too thick. I'm going to put this on my pot holder so I quit moving around. I'm hoping that my kale that I've had in the refrigerator for a little while, I'm hoping that it's still good. I haven't looked at it yet. Okay. There's probably about 1/4 of this cup left that I didn't need. And if I had got it too thin, I would put just a little bit more cornmeal in it. Okay. Our cornbread mix is, you need to, before I dip into it, I always stir it again every time I make a Lacy cornbread. But it should be about the consistency of maybe cake batter, pancake batter or something like that. It needs to be loose. going to take about that much and stir it up good. And you can make them as big as you want. And just kind of stir it around. I'm going to let this cook for just a minute before I touch it, because if I don't, it'll fall apart, just like this one did. Your first one's always, but you can see what, called Lacy Cornbread. You can see all the holes in it. And this one I touched too soon, it kind of fell apart. But nevertheless, it tastes wonderful. So crunchy. But when you look at it, you'll see little holes through it. But like I said, if you think your batter's just a little bit too runny, just put you a little bit more cornbread in it, or cornmeal in it, sorry. But I'm going to let that cook on that side. And it does take a couple minutes for them to get brown. I like mine brown. So we're going to let them cook for just a little bit. And our peas are back here cooking, and it smells wonderful in here. And I'm fixing to take these turkey wings out, and I'm going to add my potatoes. Okay, you see how looks like it's got the holes in it. It looks kind of lacy. This one's pretty much done. I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to continue to make my Lacy cornbread. I'm going to get my turkey wings out. I'm going to get the meat off of them. Like I said, I'm going to put my potatoes in there. And I'll let the peas cook for another 15 minutes. They've been cooking for about 35 minutes. And really smelling good. This one's done. You can see what it looks like and why it's called Lacy cornbread. And I'm going to put another one in there. Get it going. Just make sure you spread it around so that it's thin, and just leave it alone for a minute and let it fry up. Okay, I took my turkey wings out. I need to get this cornbread out of here. And I'm going to add my potatoes, and this is just 2 medium-sized potatoes. You can put more in there, but that's really all we need. And I'm going to put the lid on it and let it cook another 15 minutes. Check to make sure my peas are tender, my potatoes are tender. And then we'll put the meat off the, ooh, that lid's hot. We'll put the, burnt my hands off. We'll put the turkey meat in there, then we'll be done. And I'm going to put some more cornbread in here for my grease gets too hot. Got too many irons in the fire. I got all my Lacy cornbread done. My potatoes, they're not all the way done, but they're getting close. My peas are getting tender. So what I'm going to do is I've got half a pound of kale. You can use spinach or collards, mustard greens, whichever you got. We like kale or spinach. And I'm just going to put a half a pound. And we all know that greens cook down really, really good. So that's all going in there. Danny's getting the meat off my smoked turkey wings for me. And we'll add them back at the end, and then we'll taste the seasoning, and then we'll get us some out to eat. It's looking really good. I think I'm going to take that out. That might be a little tough. That little strip there. Okay. I think I might add just maybe a little bit of salt. A little more pepper. We're going to stop right there. Let it cook just a little bit longer. Looks pretty with all that green in there. Okay, our black-eyed peas are pretty much done. All we gotta do is add our smoked turkey meat to it. Danny's got it all off the bone. Smells good. It's gonna give these peas a really good smoky taste. It's just something a little bit different than using a ham hock. And using smoked turkey wings when you're just cooking maybe a whole pot of mustard greens or collards or spinach or whatever is delicious too, because it just gives it a really good taste. I'm gonna put all this meat in here, I think. May not. May save up some of it. Make a sandwich out of it tomorrow or something. I think that's plenty in there. But you can see that we got our peas are good and tender. Got our potatoes in there. Got our kale. You talk about a healthy meal. Tomatoes, green chilies, bell peppers, onions. Now, I'm going to taste this for seasoning. It has a good taste to it. I really and truly, I don't need to add nothing else to it. Now, I know a lot of y'all like stuff like, put you some Louisiana hot sauce in there or something. But I added pepper to it, and then the rotel and the green chilies I added to it. Give it a really good taste, so I don't really want anything more spicier than that myself. So we got our peas, and we got our Lacy cornbread. It's gonna be delicious, y'all.
Boy, it's really good. It's a cool day, and it's got everything in it that I love, don't it?
It's a little bit spicier than what I thought it was going to be, but of course I put a can of rotel and then a can of green chilies in it. I probably could have left one or the other out because I know we can't take that spice too much, but it's good though. It's got good juice in it.
Juice, the meat, all the veggies is just wonderful.
And the Lacy cornbread.
Mm-hmm. You know how I like crunchy stuff.
I know it. I'm going to save what's left over, and we can eat, you could eat refried beans on them. You could eat some jalapeno jelly on it. You could eat cream cheese. Just trying to think. You could eat anything on that thing. It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Brown beans.
Mm-hmm. We had them the other night, didn't we?
I like dipping it in that juice.
It's good stuff.
It's really good. Something you can make a big batch like you do and put it in the freezer. And
yeah.
we can have it for supper on them quick nights.
Mm-hmm. There's enough of it. I'll probably be putting some of it up because we can't eat that pot. Good stuff.
It's not something that you just have to eat on New Year's Day, that's for sure.
No, you can eat this anytime. But,
anytime.
You
got
know,
your black-eyed peas.
That's why I was telling me and you are not big on black-eyed, just regular black-eyed peas, so we had to doctor it up a little bit. So this way you got your peas, you got your greens, which stands for money, right?
I think.
And then the Lacy cornbread, your gold.
I'm not too superstitious.
I know, I told him we weren't. This is just kind of like Thanksgiving. It's just one of them traditions that people do. It don't, told him, good Lord, it's what blesses us every day. He gives us what we need. May not always seem like what we need or when we need it, but it's in his time, ain't it?
Yep.
He always provides.
But it is good. Really good.
Open your sinuses up.
Yeah, but it's not really, to me, it's not overly hot or spice. You might could have put a half can, or you put a whole can of rotel?
Yeah. With just a half a pound of blackeye peas, so. Anyways, you've been working hard today. We'll show them in a little bit what you got done.
Been working on that oven now.
You've been working on it.
So I've been piddling around today with Miss Lori's new oven. Convection oven, gas, 24-inch. And we bought a pre-made cabinet for it. And it's plenty big. You couldn't get just the exact right size at the time. So I had to make something to fill in everything and have something to fasten it to. Actually gonna fasten it on each side. That way whenever you open up the oven door, it don't flop around. Still got to run a gas line to it. Come up through the floor. Got a lot to do to it yet. But holidays, everything's been closed. Couldn't get the parts I needed. But I'll get them tomorrow. So today I took, we got some cypress lumber that I've had for 2 or 3 years. It's really dry. Took and built this. I took and planed it down and made this to fit on there. And surprisingly, it fits. And this gap won't be quite as much right here. It's going to be raised up just a little bit when it's all said and done. It's got a drawer right here. Got to make sure it clears. It does clear the drawer, but I'm going to raise it just a little bit. Get it up off the stove in the inside there. And we got 2 drawers that go down here in the bottom of it. And them's them easy shut drawers. You just push them to and they shut real easy. And we're thinking, I guess I'm going to stain this and stain it dark and go from there.
Well, I just didn't want everything white. So I think if we trim it out in a dark stain, I think it'll look good. Don't you?
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that's actually going to set up there pretty close to like that right there.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be as much. You got to have enough room to open these cabinets up. And these are the, can't slam them. Push them and they shut real easy to themselves. So pre-ordering the cabinet saved Mr. Brown a lot of work.
Well, I don't know. You know, of course, Miss Lori ordered this cabinet, and I don't know everything about it, but these cabinets are made for wall ovens, and I'm not going to cut it down. We did get it from Lowe's, but we're not real proud of it, but once Mr. Brown gets done with it, it'll be just fine. I think the build of it, and Danny does too, is just not as good as it could be, but it'll work once he gets his touches done with it.
And they got real rough with it in shipping.
Yeah, they did.
They got rough with it.
I tell you what, if you want to send something back and try to get more, it's just not going to happen. That's why I said we're going to deal with this one. We're going to make it work. And when he gets done with it, it's going to be beautiful. So, good job, Mr. Brown. I told them I was going to keep you busy when you retired.
Yeah.
This will be the last thing for a while, though.
I've got to get some duck hunting in.
You got to get some duck hunting in, yeah.
I think we got some bad weather coming. Not that I wish for people to have bad weather, but some colder weather coming out of Canada. Oh, supposed to be here in about a week. And snow in Iowa and all them places. So
you think it's going to drive them ducks down?
I think it's going to push some ducks down here to Arkansas, I do.
I hope so. I want some duck meat.
Well, me too.
Got somebody trying to talk to me here. Okay. Says, why do Southerners eat black-eyed peas on New Year's Day? The story of the Southern tradition of eating black-eyed peas as the first meal on New Year's Day is generally believed to date back to the winter of 1864 to 1865, when Union General William T. Sherman led his invading troops on their destructive march through Georgia. The fields of black-eyed peas were largely left untouched because they were deemed fit only for animals. The Union foragers took everything, plundered the land, and left what they could not take, burning or in shambles. But two things did remain: the lowly peas and good old Southern salted pork. As a result, the humble yet nourishing black-eyed peas saved surviving Southerners, mainly women, children, and elderly, and the disabled veterans of the Confederate Army, from mass starvation, and were thereafter regarded as a symbol of good luck. The peas are said to represent good fortune. Certainly the starving Southern families and soldiers were fortunate to have these meager supplies. According to the tradition and folklore, the peas are served with several other dishes that symbolically represent good fortune, health, wealth, and prosperity in the coming year. Some folks still traditionally cook the black-eyed peas with a silver dime in the pot as a symbol of good fortune. Greens represent wealth and paper money. Any greens will do, but in the South, the most popular are collards, mustard, turnip, and cabbage. Of course, we like kale, and we like cabbage, but we like kale and we like spinach the best, or cabbage. Cornbread, a regular staple among Southerners, is the absence of wheat. In the absence of wheat, symbolizes gold, and is very good for soaking up that juice in the greens on the plate. You should always have some cornbread on hand in your kitchen anyway. Good for dinner and in the morning with syrup. Pork symbolizes bountiful prosperity, and then progressing into the year ahead. Ham and hog jows are typical with the New Year meal, though sometimes bacon will be used too. Pigs root forward, so it is symbolic moving forward for the new year. Tomatoes are often eaten with this meal as well. They represent health and wealth. So reflect on those stories when you sit down at your family table and enjoy the humble, uniquely Southern meal every New Year's Day. Be thankful for what this year did give you in spite of the bad, and hope and pray for better days that are coming ahead for you. This is what your Southern kinfolk did and reflected upon every year. So I just want to share that. I thought that was kind of neat. So we're going to wrap this video up. I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of the week. I know I'm going to get busy because we've got to go back to school Wednesday. And that's when this video is going to upload. And so I need to really get done everything that I wanted to get done while I was off on Christmas break. We did have some sick family members that we took care of, so that and we had a house full for a long time. So we have had one busy little house here. So now that everything's settled down, we're back in business now. And I was feeling a little bit puny. I know I had several people ask me, Miss Lori, you look like you're tired, you just don't feel good. And I try to just be kind of light with it and humble about it, because yeah, I am tired. I have found that I've been really tired lately. There's been a lot of sickness, but me and Mr. Brown so far have not gotten down bad with anything, and yet, and I hope we don't, we've been able to fight it off. Maybe we've had a little bit of it and just just didn't know it, and that's why we've been really tired lately, or that we just on the go all the time. I did go back to the doctor Friday, and they're sending me to a rheumatologist. I'm having still a lot of issues with my hands. Now, they're already treating me for osteoarthritis. He looked at my hands again, and the curvature of my fingers, and then the polyps at the end, that's what they're treating me for. He said here, to him, looks like rheumatoid arthritis, but still, I had psoriasis come up really bad on my hands. And that could be a sign of psoriatic arthritis. So they're sending me to a specialist so we can try to see what, if I've got different arthritis going on here, or if there's one that's really just depleting my hands, because I've got right now very little use of my hands. I'm dropping a lot of stuff. I have no strength in them at all. They hurt. Now, he put me on a big regimen of steroids. And I'm going to say this is my 3rd day and of a big dose of steroids. And I feel like it's helping my hands, y'all. I don't know why. I guess it's the inflammation. Plus, I am taking some other medications for the arthritis. But my hands are getting worse, so they've got to try pinpoint exactly which arthritis we need to be fighting. The rheumatoid and the psoriatic arthritis we can deal with. The other is really crippling my fingers, so see what we can do. But anyways, I feel good, just tired, and fixing to turn 60 years old on the 8th of January. And so the oven, the cabinet, everything Mr. Brown's doing, that was kind of like my Christmas / birthday gift there going on. And I'm excited to get another oven. And somebody said, well, how many ovens do you need, Miss Lori? Well, I don't have a convection oven. That antique propane cook stove I have, which I absolutely love. It just has a regular propane oven, and it doesn't bake cakes and cookies and stuff like that real good, because it does biscuits, cornbread, and just stuff like that really good, meats and stuff. But as far as really delicate cooking and baking, it doesn't do good. So I need another one. And of course, my wood cook stove, I can only cook in that oven during winter time. So anyways, I'm really excited about this oven, because when I retire, I hope to maybe, I don't know, if I have the time, if I'm not on the road traveling too much, which I plan on doing some, I want to do some resale baking and stuff. So anyways, so that's what we've been up to. So we'll see y'all in a few days. Don't know exactly what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something. So always remember, God loves you, we love you, and God bless.